This is the data set that we're going to use to study illuminance and get real measurements from the Revit building. The building is a Usonian house. It's a representation of Frank Lloyd Wright's Zimmerman House, Manchester, New Hampshire. It's owned by the Curie Museum of Art. You can see that the windows on the north side are tucked high underneath the eaves line, and the glass area there is about 1 foot square. On the south side of the building, you've got larger windows and planters that extend into what they referred to as the garden room, as well as a south patio that reflects light into the building. If we take the roof off, the activities from left to right would be a music room where people are presumably reading music as they played. You can see seating built into the wall, and there are tables again. The idea being that if we can measure light or luminance on a surface, then we can get an idea as to whether the light levels are adequate for particular activities. Now, a normal rendering, you can adjust exposure for presentation purposes, but you're not seeing real life values for the measure of illuminance. What we can do, though, is create output that shows those values with a color-coded legend where we can read it and see whether the light levels are adequate to our purposes. You can do that in perspective, but you can also do it in plan, and you could do it for different times of the day or different orientations for the building. So here what I've got is if the orientation were just east-west, we'd get these results. If they were turned, the building was turned 30 degrees, and we get obviously different results. So we can change a variable and then get different results from a study. You can also look at it in section, and you could do this with daylight, or you could do it with daylight and artificial lights, or just artificial lights. So a lot of flexibility in letting us understand the conditions in our building.